Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. I wish you all a happy Sunday. Let's see the indicators analysis, but before we start with the indicator, we're gonna of course make a review here with Elliott Wave, of course, pattern that is unfolding over there as a potential correction so far can be finished, of course, based on this impulse, where we might have, of course, a W, an X, and a wave Y finished in 3 waves toward the upside. These 3 waves, of course, the final wave is an ABC. The wave C is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, expanding a diagonal to finish, of course, 5 waves in a wave C. Expanding diagonal that because, of course, a wave 3 here is, of course, somehow a little bit longer, but yeah, I would say that it looks also like a zigzag. And also that the wave 4 interfered was zone 1, wave 5 longer than wave 3. So all the rules, of course, are fine for an expanding diagonal, which is very rare normally. But yeah, we have no other option, especially that we got an impulse after all. And finishing here as 3 waves within a 3 waves, meaning W, X, and Y. Currently, the impulse toward the downside is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. We have finished a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. For a wave 3, and then we still required here a wave 4 and a 5 to unfold towards the downside. Now basically, if this is going to happen there as a wave 5 unfolding downward, that means of course it is a confirmed impulse, a confirmed direction for the market, of course continuation towards the downside, and that means of course we might see here a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. Another bigger impulse, of course, to reach new lows here as expected, still the 52K that we are expecting from the last, for the last weeks, I would say, as in WXNY. So this still can be, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. We're going to watch, of course, the 1-to-1 fib level as a W, X, and a Y. We'll see, of course, the reaction over there. And we'll see, of course, if this base channel will be broken, because this is the most important thing here. We want to see, of course, that the base channel get broken decisively, in an impulse toward the downside to claim a wave 3 over there, meaning can be also a potential 1, 2, 1, 2, wave 3 finished, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then of course having 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5. This is a case of a deep correction that we talked about yesterday in the deep analysis. You can go back for it again and watch the video there. It is much more explained over there. So this is a deep correction that it might unfold towards the 25, 35K in the next months, I would say, for Bitcoin. But of course, in this case, if we reach the 52K here, we still have I would say a potential or a chance to push toward the upside again, in case we still, of course, in a W, X, and a Y here, which I doubt it if we're gonna get, of course, an impulse just like that, because a wave Y is not allowed to be an impulse. Yep, so this is also something to mark. That means, of course, much more probability here. If we break the base channel and we get the 52K, yes, we might retrace, but higher possibility is to continue the trend toward the downside in several 4545, meaning the probability of a WX and a Y gets lower probability, and this, of course, lower the probability for a shallow wave 2 as a bear market or as a regular flat. So we'll see what's gonna happen, guys. Basically, on the 1 hour chart, we still see, of course, a lot of weakness. We see a direct impulse, direct sell off from there, and we might still expect lower prices. Let's move to the indicator and starting with the RSI and MACD. For the RSI on the 1 hour chart, we can see, of course, that the price has, of course, reached the oversold area here. We start to push toward the upside with the RSI breaking the center line, but yeah, nothing yet is clear, of course, as something bullish, because of course we still very likely in 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This wave 4 might reflect your wave 2 over there. We might have, of course, something as 3 waves and then continuation toward the downside. The MACD also shows a little bit of momentum for higher prices here. However, I don't see yet, of course, a very, very strong signal, despite, of course, that you have kind of like a bullish signal. But I would say, yeah, the price doesn't agree with it. Yeah, so if you're seeing the momentum pushing down again with red here, definitely we want, of course, to push further for lower in a wave 5 as expected for the impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here. For the 4-hour chart here, we are looking also at that the RSI is on the lower part of the RSI here, meaning of course still looking potentially for the overselling area here, and we might still continue of course this impulse where you see of course 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, 4 and a 5 still expected here. Potentially, of course, the 4 hours might take the oversold area and push for higher. Don't forget, of course, finishing impulse, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yeah, so meaning as well, RSI might push up, and that's normal once you reach, of course, the oversold area within a wave 5. So pushing up here again, of course, for a wave 2 or a wave B might means correction. It doesn't have to be, of course, something bullish from there. It can hit the lower, the middle line here for SI, and then coming back in a very, very strong impulse wave 3. Yeah, so toward the downside after wave 2. So we gotta be careful, and especially that the MACD here is still, of course, open. The MACD line and the signal line are still open for lower prices. The momentum, yes, it is reducing, but that doesn't mean it cannot proceed for another momentum toward the downside. Yeah, so we gotta be careful as well. Nothing looking bullish over there. For the daily as well, on the RSI, we see, of course, that the RSI is pushing for higher. But if you compare the price with it, well, the price is simply, of course, sideways. Yeah, that means weakness, very, very clear here. And of course, we might proceed toward the downside for a new oversold area here for the RSI. The momentum for the bullish here is decreasing on the daily, of course, and we're ready to make a bearish cross potentially again. So we gotta be careful, of course, if the things continues, that means, of course, a very, very bearish 4 and a 5. 4 and a 5 might unfold on the daily, as we mentioned as well. So we gotta be careful with it. Yeah, so this is regarding the daily. Finally, we're gonna see, of course, the weekly as well. So for the weekly, well, okay, this is a very, very strong signal, I would say, normally for Bitcoin in the weekly. Once we see a weekly oversold area, meaning, of course, it's a bull run, but not for this time. I doubt it somehow, because, of course, this time the weekly might a little bit range much more deeper before we push toward the upside. And that means, of course, the correction might be a little bit more deeper there in double 4-5s, because you have, of course, 1, 2, 1, 2, wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And then, of course, pushing for higher again, potentially, of course, coming back to with a weekly here to the middle area, I would say, and then pushing for one more low, of course, to finish an ABC here, as we mentioned, in case we are in a deep correction, and then pushing toward the upside. Okay, of course, everything is still a probability now. Currently, we're still above the channels. Yeah, so we still, of course, around the channeling here. So everything is still possible to rebound. Nobody knows what the market decide. If this happens, of course, then okay, this signal might play already as, of course, a bull run here a little bit towards the upside, meaning a regular flat, and then pushing down later on for a lower here, creating a divergence, of course, within the price and the RSI, and then pushing a bull run toward the upside. So yeah, we'll see if this is gonna happen, but of course, currently, based on what is going on also around this world, everything is, of course, under risk of bearish, guys, of course. So we gotta be careful. A deep correction still has highest probability right now, because of course we see correction on the micro level. We don't see anything bullish or a bullish pattern. So this is regarding MACD and the RSI. Let's move to the KGT as well. So on the KGT, we're gonna start from the lowest time frame, 30-second. As you can see, we have a bearish signal from the top here after this retracement for a wave 4, and very likely, of course, that this is a something correction, not an impulse, since anyway we have interfered in wave 1 in case this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And the bearish signal has been given, and an impulse is unfolding already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the direction of the market is again downward. And we gotta be careful, of course, the signal is over there. For the KGT as well, 1 minute chart, also another bearish signal from the top here, very clear after, of course, we got invalidation of the bullish here, and of course a very strong bearish signal here. As you can see, is still of course above the price is still of course coming with a pressure in the top here, and we might continue very bearish here of course for Bitcoin. So we gotta be careful with this 3-minute chart. Now it shows a bullish signal. I doubt it. Of course, this is gonna be invalidated soon, of course, within this drop that we saw of course on the micro level, because you know always the micro level will lead the highest or the higher time frame. And of course, once we drop down here, because we see of course a bearish signal there on the micro, we might get an invalidation over there. This bullish has been played already over there. Okay, so that's it, and it might of course get invalidation again once the price takes the low. Yep, so that was it for the KGT here. So we're gonna see also the EMAs finally, and starting also from the 1-hour chart. As you can see, the EMA 200-100 are very close for a bearish cross here to continue of course within a wave 5. It's an impulse of course unfolding toward the downside. It has broke already of course the EMAs, and of course making a bearish cross, meaning of course confirmation even for something more aggressive that it might unfold toward the downside. On the 4-hour chart for the EMAs, again of course broken, and we see of course the EMAs again getting of course for a setup here for something bearish to continue toward the downside. Of course that is not a good signal. Of course the price is under both lines. That's already a very clear signal. The bearish on the daily, of course the bearish cross here for the EMAs is still of course giving a lot of pressure. The EMAs are still very open. That means of course the price might plunge toward the downside very aggressively still, of course, which is of course our double 1-2 wave 3 to finish wave 3 here. You still need wave 5 and then 4-5. So expect those EMAs here lines of course to come back of course toward the downside here, and not of course turning before finishing of course this impulse, and then of course starting to look to something of course toward the upside as a correction, A, B, and a C of course, that it might continue the drop toward the downside before a bull run. So yeah, the things are not looking good also on the EMAs, so we gotta be careful. Finally we're gonna see the weekly, even the weekly here is broken. Yeah, the weekly EMA 200 is broken, the yellow one. That is a very strong bearish signal, so we gotta be careful. We saw this before. Now of course once the weekly is touched, normally of course we see some rebound, but for example the latest bull run, it has dived deeper. Will this bull run also dive deeper before it starts? Well, yes, very likely, guys. Very likely that it might happen. Of course, that the weekly might come to this area before starting, of course, to push toward the upside. Yep, so this is regarding Bitcoin, the indicators analysis. Before you leave, make sure to join our private Discord community. There you will get daily updates faster than YouTube, plus exclusive bonus trading signals for the gold, silver, Bitcoin, and stocks. You can also request one special technical analysis every day and get access even to our only members video on YouTube and also on Discord. And stay ahead, of course, with economic and political news that actually moves the market. And of course, we do regular Q&A sessions, so you can get your questions answered directly in the Discord. And of course, if you're serious about leveling your trading, the Discord link is below in the description and in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.